Hey, it's Mitch with Bloodrock Media, and I'm here with Charlie and Eric of Suffocation. What's going on, guys?
Blip, blip, what up? Oh, shit, you got Hobbs walking in, too.
We got another person coming in.
Hey!
All right. So I guess now we got three.
So now you got to hang out.
It's all good. Hey, this is what happens, you know? So you guys have been together since, well, the band started in '88. Went through it and...
This is an old... Here, you jump in.
Whoa. All right.
Yeah! Fucking A! Woo! Yeah, we started in late '87, '88.
Right.
You know, between me, Frank, Mike, and all these other guys, you know, we had like multiple different lineups at that particular time. Nothing was ever etched in stone, but one day we were sitting at the mall and it was me, Frank, and Josh, and we were just tossing some names around, and that's how the name Suffocation happened in '88.
Somebody thought that was a good idea?
Yeah, I mean, I guess at the time we were just in that, right frame of mind to say, fuck it, Suffocation.
Why not, right?
Hey, yeah,
There's worse names out there.
Right, you know what I mean? Well, I don't know. Yeah, hey, comes up on Wikipedia first and shit, so
Yeah.
I'm happy.
There you go.
Uh-oh, here comes the action.
Now we got another one.
Oh, look at him. No, he wants to
He's
play
like,
metal.
no.
Surrounded
nope.
by music. Anyway.
And then back in 2003, you reformed?
Yeah, we had a reformation. We, Frank had gotten married and moved out of the state, and then he decided to get divorced, which was one of those things, take it or leave it. And
It happens.
He came back home and wanted to reform the band, so we kind of got back together and just started writing again and playing some older songs, and a couple of different member changes later, because as time goes on, people are just like, oh, fuck this, I'd just rather be at my job, you know what I mean? It's like, okay.
Right.
And we're here today, and that's how we have Eric and we have Charlie kicking ass with us, and still putting out some lethal vinyl, you know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You guys just released a new record. Am I wrong?
Yep, yeah, we did. Of the Dark Light, yep. Woo!
June 9th, I believe that was.
Yeah. This will be our 5th tour since then.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Damn.
Literally.
So you guys just go all over the place?
Yeah, we've been chugging away, man. I mean, we've since that record we did Summer Slaughter, which was in the States. We went over to Europe. We played over there. We came back home. We played with Morbid. Then we went down to South America. We did about 16 different airplane flights just to go to 7 different countries down there.
Wow.
And then we turned around and came back home, and we hopped right back onto this tour out here with the Black Dahlia Murder. So, it's been a pretty busy year for all of us. These guys have been working their asses off. It's been pretty good, man.
Cool. You been on tour with Black Dahlia before?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We were on tour with them quite a while ago, probably about a decade ago, and it was way early on, I guess, for them. They'd probably been together. I couldn't tell you how many years before.
Right.
But it's like in order to make good tour packages and things, sometimes things work better when you band together. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So the way it was back then was Black Dahlia Murder. A couple other bands opening up for Suffocation, and now it's like Suffocation gets to open up for them and go and have a couple of drinks at the end of the night, which is kind of a good thing.
Right.
And plus you get to see your friends' bands kick ass all night.
That's
so,
always a plus.
Yeah, it is. It really is, because, there's usually nothing but crickets at the end of the night once you headline.
Right.
And we never get a chance to come out and see our fans and be able to sign the things that they have and, just talk shop with everybody. So it's kind of really cool that it happened this way.
Yeah. It's always great just seeing a band up on stage and being able to say, those guys are my friends.
Right, exactly. And I mean, we've known them for such a long time, and they've been chugging away. They've been putting out great records. There's not many people I know that don't like the Black Dahlia Murder. I, for one, do.
Obviously.
Yeah. So I mean, everybody out there, if you get a chance, come and check out a show, man.
Hell yeah.
It's good shit.
Back to the record. It was self-produced?
Well, it was self-produced. We pretty much tracked everything at Full Force Studios with our buddy Joe Sincata. And then from there, we sent it out to Chris Zeus Harris, who's done plenty of things. He's done Hatebreed, Lamb of God, this, that, and the other thing. So we've kind of figured out that type of formula. It's like we know what we can do at home and what we kind of can't do in the mixing department.
Mm-hmm.
So we sent it out to him, and that's the way it all turned out to be. It'll be the second time we've pretty much done that, because on the previous album, Pinnacle of Bedlam, that was the method that we used. But what was different on this record was the band was a lot more rehearsed, actually, going in to this record. Like we had been doing some touring and stuff like that. And as soon as we had gotten off the tour, we immediately went to the rehearsal room and started rehearsing for it. So I think that made it a little bit more organic in the way it was produced than the other records, you know.
Is that something you think you're gonna do for future records?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think for the most part, a band's got to be rehearsed before it goes in to do a record. I mean, you're capturing a performance in time, you know, and you know, for us, I think for us, it's always a different sounding record, and I think a lot of the reason that it is different sounding is the techniques that we used about going about writing, and the techniques we used about going and recording and producing it and letting other people have their input on it, you know. We don't want every record to be exactly the same, let alone we're not going to put one out every year, because Suffocation already has 11 records, and it's like, how many, you know, how long can we play for playing this kind of music for you guys? We're not going to do a 3-hour set, you know.
Right.
I'd be a rotten bag of bones by that time. Probably definitely turned into bone dust. So, you know, we're better off doing it the way that we're doing it, and keeping it short and powerful and intense, and always keeping the music true to what it was.
So does it get old, like playing the same song night after night?
Yeah, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. All right. I want to play more new material, you guys. Of course, there's plenty of B songs, and everybody's got their different favorites. And it's like everybody asks me, "What's your favorite Suffer record?" It's like all of them, dude. You know, it's not like, you know, for me, in technicality and brutality and strenuousness and just having intensity, it's like they're all intense, they're all brutal. So it's like, yeah, it's like hard for us to actually write out a set list, because there's so many songs with the amount of time that we have to play that we'd like to fill in turn that kind of distracts away from the new stuff and getting that out to people. So it's a real fine line for us. So for all you guys that want to hear Blood Oath, and you know, you want to hear Infecting the Crypts, and you want to hear Surgery of Impalement, and you want to hear, you know, Seeds of the Suffering, you know, that takes up half our set. So just realize that we have to go back, do our rehearsals, let alone anything else, because none of this is easy music to play, and then bring it to you. So just keep screaming out what you guys want to hear, and we'll take it to heart, and when it really matters the most, we'll kind of bring it to you, you know.
So what kind of musical background do you come from?
Well, I mean, I have some musicians in my family. My sister's a vocalist. My brother was always like a dance instructor. He was very rhythmic in his whole thing. For me, guitar, just at a young age, it just kind of hit on me. I learned myself. It wasn't like I was self-taught. I took very minimal lessons, but now with the advent of YouTube, everybody can take lessons.
Yeah.
I didn't have that shit when I was growing up, you motherfuckers. Right. But, I mean, still, you know, there was still our favorites that were out there that we always loved, and that I always loved as guitar players, you know, Jimi Hendrix, Jimmy Page.
Right.
You know, the list goes on and on and on. Don't use those as the only examples. But
they're all fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and it goes to the guitar virtuosos, the flamenco players, the Spanish players, the Latin players, everything else. So, you know, for all that time, we've just been sitting there just trying to, like, formulate a playing style for myself, let alone the people in my family that were musicians. So even to this day, I still haven't jammed with my sister, and she's got a 3.5 vocal octave range. You know, it's kind of crazy.
Gotta get that set up.
Well, maybe one day, but everybody's concentrating on what they want to do. So, you know, when the time is right.
So how does everybody's background influence your writing style?
Well, their backgrounds don't really influence it. It's up to them. I mean, it's like everybody has their opinion on what Suffocation is supposed to sound like, what influenced them, what kind of edge gives them that intuition of what we're doing. So when people write riffs, it's just, you know, it comes out that way. It's not necessarily just a specific formula. I mean, obviously, me and Derek have been doing the majority of the writing for quite a while now, but you know, these young crazy kids like fucking Chuck over here, who's flipping out. Chuck has got riffs, you know. He's got drum beats and patterns he wants to utilize in the riffs. So it's a newer day for us. It's going more back to the roots of being, you know, an actual live band.
Heavy shit.
Yeah, and bringing heavy shit. So, you know, we don't want everything to be done in a computer all the time. You know, we want to actually write the riffs and kind of congeal them together, be gelling like Magellan, so to speak, and really make something unique, you know.
All right. You guys did a 360 video.
Yeah.
For your last breaths.
Yes, Mr. Tommy Jones.
How did that work?
Basically, you know, we went back and forth with Nuclear Blast quite a bit, just on whatever song titles that they wanted to release, like lyric video, 360 video, and so on. It seems to be the new trend going on out there.
That's what I've noticed a little bit.
You know, and with that going on, the man that did the As Grace Descends video, Tommy Jones, actually continued to start to work for Nuclear Blast and a lot of other bands like Testament, Meshuggah, and stuff like that. So, you know, he got in touch with us and he just asked us what would be a cool idea. What do you think about using this song for it? You know, the guys from Nuclear Blast, and we went back and forth, and it just came out to be like that. But of course, there's still little bugs in the system, you know.
Right.
So when you go and you look at something like that on your iPhone, sometimes it didn't look correct. But yet, if you did it on the computer, and then you go back and forth with them a little bit more, and you know, finally hash it all out where that's just said and done, and it's finally there.
Cool. All right. Well, it's been Suffocation.
I'm
There.
Yannick. No, I'm in Suffocation, and we love you guys. Thank you for fucking paying attention to us for all these years. We really appreciate it.
Album Of the Dark Light out now. Go pick it up. How much longer on the store?
What do we have? We have about another 3 weeks left to go. Then we'll take off a couple of months until probably February or March of next year. I mean, as I said, since that time that the albums have been released, this will be our 5th tour. It's
Right.
like everybody needs to go home and deal with their families
Obviously.
and shit. You know, it doesn't get any easier at home when you're gone for half the year.
Yeah.
So we're just going to do our thing, sit down, take our leisure, write some stuff, think on the new plans. We really would like to do a new live album somewhere along the way. We'd really like to get this DVD done. You know, so, you know, all the politics of all that stuff have to be all hashed out. And we'll figure it out, man. We'll get it out to you guys, you know?
Awesome. Well,
Excellent.
thank you guys so much for your time.
Anytime. Sorry to cut in on my boys, man. I was
Hey,
just
it's all
trying
good.
I was just trying to get my frickin' pass. You know?
It's all good.
Yeah, all right, man.
Of the Dark Light out now. I'm Mitch with Bloodrock Media. Have a good one.
Have a good one.